Christian women coaches and founder of All Things Business Builder University, where confident Christian women come to build kingdom businesses. I coach high-performing Christian women coaches 40 and over how to build your business and brand in only 90 days, while developing a business blueprint to gain clarity of your specific mission, message, mandate, mantle to market, and lay a firm foundation with business structure, policies, procedures, and curriculum models that build the business framework and construction so you overcome fear, shatter misconceptions, increase confidence, and profit by faith. It's time to unlock what's inside you in all things business. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Doreen, Lettsome, Reid. It is always good to be with you here on the podcast. I love coming in each week and having this dialogue, having this connection with you as we actually share, connect, and grow and build your business and brand. And you know what? It's time to unlock what's inside you. So today we have a phenomenal guest with you to share with all of you around the world, dream expert coach Miriam Wright. Hello, Marie, and welcome back to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. Always good to see you. You're always doing amazing things and strengthening and helping women from around the world. So welcome to Confident Woman Incubator Podcast. And you know, we can just go ahead and tell everybody to drop it in the comments right now. Hashtag the confident woman. Yes, absolutely. Because this is going to be a great discussion. As a dream expert, you know, what are some things that you would really like to tell the ladies tonight?
Hi everyone. My name is Miriam M. Wright, and thank you, Coach Doreen, for having me here today. I am a Dream Life coach, and I would love to ask a lot of questions tonight. But are you living your dream? Or are you just too afraid to step out and live the life that God wants you to live? Live your purpose, your God-given purpose. We are all here today for a purpose. And if you're not living your purpose, your life really doesn't have a lot of meaning. If you haven't figured out what your purpose is and you're not living it or giving it, which is, if you know, once you know what it is, you need to give it. If you don't know what that is, you're pretty much not living your life to the fullest. So that's very important. Number one, to figure out why does God want you here today? What is your purpose? Why are you here?
What is your purpose? So let's unlock that question, because that is a power-packed question. What is your purpose? Let me just ask you, Coach Miriam. You're a dream expert. You coach women in this area. Just talk to me a little bit. Let's talk to us about your journey of how did you find your purpose? How did you go about discovering you?
I had to do a lot of digging because I was like, God, and asking Him too, why am I here? What do you want me to do? And I started especially asking all those questions after my older sister passed away. And then I thought, okay, why is she gone and I'm still here? What am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here? And I've been here like almost 15 years more than her. What am I supposed to be doing? And so I started asking a lot of questions. I started praying, started reading the Bible, And slowly the Holy Spirit started saying, when I started networking, I didn't know what to do. And a friend reached out and started me in network marketing. And then when I got into the networking field with all these women, it's when I realized that's what I need to be doing. I need to get women to step out in faith like I had to do and they're here for a reason. They're here for a reason. And it wasn't easy. It took me a long time to step out. I that's saying, nah, I can't do that. No, why me? Fear kept holding me back. I'm like, no, no. And then one day I was just sitting and I asked myself, why not me? Why not me? Why can't I do this? And so I called some ladies that wanted me to actually run a meeting. And I said, you know what? Yes, I will do it. And now 6 years later, I'm still doing it. And I have met so many wonderful women. And I kept thinking, if I would just sat on the couch and watch TV, where would I be today? I mean, my life would be just so very different. Very, very different. I wouldn't have met you because I would be sitting on the couch watching TV. But something told me, say yes, step out in faith. I still was, when I said yes, I was like, I said yes, and I was like rolling my eyes, yes. But then the first meeting I did, it was like, then the second one, the third one, the fourth one, it gets better and better and better. You just need to say yes and do it.
Wow, so let me ask you this, Coach Miriam. How did you make a decision to just start facing the fear to dream bigger instead of hitting your head against that same wall? Because you said for many years you just kept hitting your head against the same wall. And of course
Like,
the
yeah,
wall is not going to move. So what did you do to
right.
move?
They kept asking me, and I was like, why not me? Why can't I do this? And then I think I took a conference or something where they had videos that you can watch, uh, run for yourself every day. And one of them was actually picturing yourself doing something. And I pictured myself in front of a group or in front of like a meeting. And I pictured myself standing up there talking. And I kept picturing myself doing this. And then that's it's like, why not me? I can do that. And then when actually after I said yes, and I started speaking to the other leaders, they were saying they were all afraid, and they're still afraid. They're doing it, but they're doing it in fear. So, but they're doing it. They're stepping little by little. They're stepping. They're doing it, but they're afraid.
So one of the keys to unlock what's inside you is visualization. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, yeah,
Visualization. Okay,
yes.
could you talk a little bit more about that? How did you use that key to overcome this fear? And because you kept hitting your head against this wall for quite some time, but you said you started using visualization to move you forward into
Yeah,
your dream.
they had an exercise that you did. You closed your eyes, and they took you through all this, and you envision yourself doing certain things, and I kept envisioning myself doing doing this over and over, and just seeing the room. Actually, I saw the room get bigger and bigger. Like I might have started with maybe 3 people, and then all of a sudden there was more people and more people. Every time I did it, because I try to do it every day, because it said do it every day in the morning, and I just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I thought, okay, I need to. And then I said, I need to say yes. I need to do this. I need to do this. So I just
Wow.
visualized myself going through the process, going through what the meetings were, and I was standing up there doing the motions. And it said that's why now for the women that I coach, I tell them to write the pros and the cons. If you hadn't done this, where would you be today? What would you be doing? Or
What
if
do
you
they
or if you
what
don't step out, what will we be doing next year?
So what are the responses when they do that so we talked about visualization and now we're talking about actually writing things down. So what are the responses of those women when they start looking at the pros and the cons? What are their responses? Because
Well, they
you
say
know,
when you write, your
mhm,
mind remembers.
mhm.
So yes, like you wrote this down and you said if you did this, look what will happen. And if you don't do this, look what will happen.
Mhm.
So you actually looking at it, you're actually viewing it and seeing it and repeat. I tell them to keep reading the list. Don't just write it once and let it. It's almost like a gratitude journal. Keep reading it. Keep reading it. Keep seeing it. Keep seeing it. Because I would do the visualization, but I not really sure exactly how to go about doing all that. But I might put that into practice once I learn how to do all that. But I mean, I knew how to do it for me, but I wasn't sure. So I need to talk to that coach and see how she did it. But so for me, it's the writing, the viewing. I also have them write their dream for 24 hours. An angel comes and taps you on the shoulder and says, "You have 24 hours to live your dream day." What does that look like? And they have to use their five senses and write it for 24 hours.
Wow,
From the,
that's
from the
powerful.
time they wake up to the time, and they don't have to do it in the day. I mean, it's because you're going to think it out. They don't do it in the day. They just write it out. And then whatever you write that day, read it before you go to bed. If you write
Oh
two
wow,
words, read the two words before you go to bed.
that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So we've given a lot of keys to unlock what's inside you, you know, to stop hitting your head against this brick wall and to dream bigger. One of the things I heard Coach Miriam was number one, just understanding that you are in fear. I think that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of women don't
Mm-hmm.
want to acknowledge that, yes, I am afraid. They
Mm-hmm.
have a fear of even acknowledging that
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
there, it just goes.
Yes.
It's very deep rooted. A
Yes.
lot of women that I talked to over the years. I've been doing this for 25 years. Well, this year be 26. I've learned that a lot of us just don't even want to tell the truth to say, yeah, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah, because it's
using,
like, what are they going to think of me if I see I'm afraid? I
yeah,
can't say that.
especially when we're talking in the contents of women in business, because we
Mm-hmm.
feel that as CEOs, as coaches, and as women in leadership, well, like you just said, I'm not supposed to be afraid of anything. But
Right. Right.
that's just not reality.
That's why when those
It's
ladies kept
just not.
asking me, I kept saying no, 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 no.
Do you
That
think
was the
that you would
answer.
have
No.
do you think you would have overcome the fear quicker if you had acknowledged that you were in fear?
Probably. I
Wow.
probably wouldn't have waited. I don't know how many months it was. Yeah,
Wow. So
I
just
think so.
acknowledging could help you stop hitting your head
Because
against.
acknowledging you realize there's something there, work towards it. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Because holding fear in, it's not. I mean, there's different kind of fears, of course, but if you hold in your inner fears too long, there's a lot of illnesses that can come from that. There's a lot of illnesses that can come from that.
Wow. So acknowledging would really be the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start at visualizing anything until you acknowledge where you are.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I really think I'm glad we backtracked and really
Mm-hmm.
provided the listeners on Confident Women Incubator podcast some clarity on that, because I feel that that is a very, very key element to
Yeah.
unlock what's inside you, is to
Yes.
first acknowledge.
Yes.
I think that's what the woman with the issue of blood did. Her story is so powerful. She just acknowledged where she was. She acknowledged, look, I've got to go see him. I've got to press my way. I don't care what has happened. She acknowledged her situation, because remember, the
Yes.
Bible said for many, many years she
Yes.
tried everything she knew. She kept hitting her head against this brick
Yes.
wall. For 12 years, she just knocking herself out, trying to figure it out. And she's alone. And how
Mm-hmm.
many of us do that in business? We feel like we're alone. We feel like we have no support. Because remember, she was totally isolated. She did not
Yeah.
have a support system in that time. The law forbidded anyone to help her, support her. She didn't have networking events such as what you mentioned. She was alone, and for 12 years she literally hit her head against a brick
Wow.
wall. and
Yeah.
and she didn't acknowledge that, okay, I need help. She was
Mm-hmm.
going for help, but that help was just taking from her. And
Mm-hmm.
really, let's just talk about that for a minute. When we do acknowledge that we need help, are we even going to the right source
People, the
for
right
the help?
people. Yes. Exactly.
Are we even going to the
Exactly.
right source? Because in our minds, it would be natural to go to the doctor. And of course, we do need to go
Mm-hmm.
to the doctor. But if we're not going to the great physician first, and
Yeah.
then the doctor in the
Yeah.
natural, if we're not approaching the
Yes.
spiritual realm first, we're going to wind up doing this,
Yeah.
hitting our head,
Yeah.
hitting our head, hitting our head, hitting our waiting for the wall to
Yeah.
move, and the
That is
wall
that
is
is important.
so.
Yeah.
I think, what do you think about her story? When you really analyze it, do you think, why did it take her 12 years to acknowledge? Do you think it took her that long to even hear about Jesus Christ? Because the Bible says she had heard of him. She had heard
She had
about his good.
heard. Maybe she just didn't. She meant. It's one thing to hear. It's another
Mhm.
thing to take it in. You can
Wow.
hear things, but yeah, you can hear whatever it's out there. But are you listening? That's the thing. You can hear, but are you listening?
Yeah. But this has been really, really good. I tell you what, okay, so Coach Mary, I'm gonna let you recap all these keys that we're giving to unlock what's inside you. Um, from your own perspective, what would be the first key that would really help the woman here on Confident Woman Incubator podcast?
Acknowledge that you are afraid of whatever it is, as simple as it is. Acknowledge that you are afraid of it. It could be very simple. It could be you're afraid of walking, driving a car, let's say. A lot of people are afraid to drive, but you
Yes.
acknowledge it. Why are you afraid? Write the pros and the cons. If I drive, what would you gain? And if you don't ever drive, what will you gain?
Amen. Um, I like how you said even the small fears, because fear can accumulate.
I had my sister. My sister once, she would not drive, and then finally she got a car, and finally she started driving on the side roads, and it took me forever to talk her into going into the interstate. She just had a fear of, and I tell her it's the same as driving on the side roads. Just pay attention. The cars are coming. You slow down, let them in. Same thing. Finally, she got on the interstate, but she just had a fear of driving. She was not going to drive. Period.
I know women. I have. There is a friend that I had some years ago. She's moved on now, but she did not drive for years. I mean, she was like in her 60s, I think in
Mm,
her 60s, late
wow.
50s, maybe 60s, and she actually got a car. And she even told me,
Wow.
she said, I don't know what I was afraid of.
You see, you don't know. unless you
She
ask.
literally said that, Coach Miriam. She
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
told me. She said she
yeah.
asked, "Well, how you like driving?" She said, "I should have been got my license." She said, "I don't even know what I was afraid of."
That's the thing. If you don't tell, if you don't face it, you're not never gonna know what you're afraid of.
Mm.
And
So
that's
we're
one
gonna
question. That's one question I said earlier. What That's one question to ask yourself. What are you afraid of? And if I get in a car and drive, what am I seeing in my mind that's going to happen?
totally bizarre.
Yeah, yeah. You're telling, like they say, fear is false evidence appearing real. That's exactly what you're telling yourself. All these false stories.
Wow. That's just some I can feel the weight change. It just makes you think. It makes you pause.
Mm-hmm.
As we're just discussing this, this is just a candid conversation of where many women are. Very affluent women,
They
very
are. They are.
career savvy women,
They
women
are.
that have been in business for years and are very successful. But they are, we as women, we have a lot of fears, and a lot of these things go not acknowledged. Even the fear of even verbalizing your fear, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're admitting you have a weakness, but we all know we have a weakness. We all know we
Yes.
have something
Yes.
that we have to unlock. We have to do it. It's just, unless you're just going to keep
We were all
pounding your
born with
head,
weakness. We
you're
were
just going to
all
keep
born with
pounding
a
your head
weakness.
against that brick wall, and you're not going to get anywhere. And it's just really something to just ponder.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about where we're gonna be talking on Clubhouse tonight. Coach Miriam, you want to go ahead and give some information about our Clubhouse tonight from 7:30 to 8:30, because you're going to also be speaking on that platform as well.
Yes, we're going to be on Clubhouse at 7:30 tonight, and it's Incubator. Is it Incubator
Yes,
Women?
Confident Woman Incubator.
Confident Women Incubator at 7:30 on Clubhouse. So find
Absolutely.
us. Look
Yes,
for
most
us.
definitely find us. This is just another opportunity for us to really get engaged more, because on Clubhouse, you can actually give your feedback, ask questions. We are able to interact. Here on the
Yes,
podcast, we are interacting as well with your comments, but instead of just commenting, you actually get to voice what's on your mind. You get to use your voice, and we
yes,
know that your voice, we want your voice heard. Here on Confident Women Incubator Podcast, we read those comments all the time when people are joining us, as they are now. But in Clubhouse, it's a more intimate setting where you actually can come on stage and voice what you have to say, and voice, and it's a dialogue. It's a more intimate
yes,
dialogue. So
yes.
we just encourage everyone to go ahead and click the link, which is available on all the social media platforms. Dr. Doreen Lettsome Reid, our Confident Woman Incubator podcast, live Facebook group. All of these different platforms have the link available. It's been posted all day. So you just click that link, and then of course you go right into Confident Woman Incubator Clubhouse. And of course you can always follow me at Doreen.L.Reid, and we can get you involved in the conversation. So to wrap things up tonight, before we go to Clubhouse in just a few moments, Coach Miriam, give us some last final words on this issue of hitting your head against a brick wall.
Actually, I have a book, and it's an ebook. It's called "Why Worry: Turning Concern, Doubt, and Fear into Excitement." If you would like to get the ebook, just message me, and I will send you the link. And on Mondays at 7 a.m. on Clubhouse, I am reviewing the book, Why Worry? Turning Concern, Doubt, and Fear into Excitement. So if you have any fears or that you, well, if you have any fears and you're acknowledging, or you want to acknowledge, please do so. Get it out there. Step out. Because if you don't acknowledge it, you're never going to fix the problem. And it's probably not even a problem. It's probably something as simple as, like Doreen said, that lady that was driving and said she should have been driving forever. Please, and if you need to get a hold of me, you can reach me at Coach Miriam, CoachMiriammw at gmail.com, or you can text me at 407-484-7537, and I will respond as soon as I can. Thank you. And thank you, Coach Doreen.
Absolutely. We always love partnering with women and Christian women in business, and we're still celebrating as we're wrapping up, Women's History
Women's
Month.
Week, yes.
Yeah, Women's History Month. This is a very powerful month. Lots of things have been going forth to advance the
Yeah.
kingdom for God's glory, and it's always good to lock arms with other Christian women in business, and that's what we're called to do. That's what I'm called to do. So I thank you for the honor and privilege to have you on the show to hear about how to dream bigger and really stop hitting your head against this brick wall, because the brick wall is not going to move.
It's not going to move.
It's
You have to
not
move.
going to move. We have to move. And so
Yeah.
thank you for helping us do that tonight. And of course, once again, let me post the information about our clubhouse. Tonight is Confident Woman Incubator Clubhouse. You can follow me at Doreen.L.Reid. And of course, I also want to encourage you to register for the free webinar coming up. All Things Business Think Tank webinar, free registration. You have plenty of time to get on your calendar to get registered. Coach Miriam was in the Think Tank series, and she learned a lot of things about how to
Oh,
build
yes, I did.
your business and your brand in just a short period of time. And so we probably talk a little bit more about that tonight on Clubhouse, because it is time to move forward, ladies. We cannot keep hitting our head against this brick wall. It's time to unlock what's inside you in all things business. So this webinar gets you started, gets you moving by developing your business blueprint in only 4 weeks. I mean, you just can't believe the knowledge that you're going to receive and to begin to lay that firm foundation for your business and your brand. So on Saturday, April the 22nd at 6:30 to 7:15, only 45 minutes. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Go ahead and register. There's only 10 spots available, because I want to make sure that each and every one of you get that 10x value and you have an opportunity to work exclusively with me in All Things Business webinar. So we are excited about that. Coach Miriam, I will see you in a few moments on
Okay.
Confident Woman Incubator Clubhouse. Again, thank you. We're going to give you that one more time. Confident Woman Incubator Clubhouse, 7:30 tonight to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can follow Club Doreen.L.Reid. And Miriam, give them your clubhouse handle so that they can also follow you.
Oh, wow. I don't know
Do
what
you remember what it is?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, if you go
You can
to
find
your
Miriam
name,
M. Wright in Clubhouse.
right, it will pull up, right? It
Yes.
should pull up.
Yes.
So thank you. And of course, if you follow us tonight, you get to talk to her personally. So just do that and then we can make you that connection. So
Okay.
thank you
Yes.
so much. And we'll see you soon. And
Thank
everybody go ahead
you.
and drop it in the comment. Hashtag the
Yeah.
confident woman. See you next week.
Thank you.